In the world of luxury, there are levels that defy imagination. Hidden residences on private islands, dinners that cost more than a car, and cars that never touch common ground. Today, we're going to dive in those details that are rarely revealed, exploring the secrets that only a few can know. Did you know that some private art collections have never been seen? Hidden in underground rooms designed to preserve irreplaceable parts. Or that there are trips on planes with glass floors where the landscape unfolds beneath your feet in an experience of limitless exclusivity. Each minute in this video will take you one step further into the universe of opulence, revealing that kind of luxury you never expected. Number 1. Every minute in this video will take you one step further into the universe of opulence, revealing the kind of luxury you never expected. Number 1. Initial reconciliation and breakup. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, one of Hollywood's most talked about couples, surprised the world when they decided to give their love story a second chance. This rekindled romance seemed straight out of a modern fairy tale. After nearly 2 decades apart, they reunited with a mix of nostalgia and excitement, as if the years of separation had only served to strengthen their feelings. The first spark was ignited in a series of messages that, while starting as friendly exchanges, quickly turned more personal and romantic. In these messages, Ben made his interest clear with affectionate phrases that reminded Lopez how important she was to him. For her part, Jennifer responded with gratitude, and little by little, the connection was reestablished, hinting that both had secretly been waiting for this moment for years. The news of Bennifer's reconciliation, as the media dubbed the couple, filled the headlines. The paparazzi followed him every step of the way, capturing their romantic vacations on exclusive beaches and intimate dinners that seemed to confirm the love they both still felt. The whole world fell in love with them again, and social media was flooded with comments from excited fans celebrating the second chance for this iconic couple. People watched them as if they were characters in a romantic novel, and they seemed to enjoy the renewed public interest by appearing together at events. Always smiling and in love. The romance was moving quickly, and the details of their life together filled the pages of tabloids. However, not everything was perfect. As the relationship intensified, so did the pressures and tensions surrounding them. Jennifer, who had learned to live under the spotlight, handled the media attention with experience. But for Ben, who had expressed a desire to lead a more private life, constant exposure became an obstacle. The constant presence of cameras and headlines began to wear on the relationship, and although both tried to adapt, their differences regarding public and private life started to show cracks. As the year went on, the situation worsened. The initial love that had rekindled their relationship began to face the challenges of two people with different life expectations. As the year went on, the situation worsened. The initial love that had rekindled the relationship began to face the challenges of two people with different life expectations. Ben, increasingly uncomfortable with the media attention, felt trapped in a cycle of public appearances that he didn't enjoy. Jennifer, for her part, was trying to balance her professional commitments with her love life, but soon realized that things weren't flowing as she had hoped. Finally, after several attempts to salvage their relationship, Jennifer and Ben decided to part ways. The news was as unexpected as their reconciliation, and the public was left perplexed by the end of what many had considered an epic love. This breakup marked the end of an emotional and turbulent chapter in both of their lives, leaving their followers with a mix of sadness and understanding, knowing that sometimes, even the most intense love faces insurmountable barriers. Number 2. Matt Damon's intervention. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon have a strong bond. However, personal issues can affect even strong bonds. Forged since childhood in Boston and strengthened over decades in the film industry. However, even the strongest bonds can be strained when they are mixed with one member's personal problems. In the midst of Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez's turbulent divorce, Matt Damon found himself in an awkward situation, trying to support his friend while dealing with the conflicts that arose from this separation. From the start, Matt was understanding, but seeing Ben's attitudes toward Jennifer, he decided he couldn't stay silent. The closeness between Damon and Affleck allowed Matt to witness Ben's handling of his emotions, which he didn't agree with. Damon saw how Ben, affected by the situation, adopted an attitude Matt considered too rigid and insensitive. And this time, he didn't agree with his friend's behavior. Damon saw how Ben, affected by the situation, was starting to adopt an attitude that Matt considered too rigid and insensitive. For Matt, who had always been known for his loyalty to Ben, it was difficult to accept the harshness with which his friend was facing the divorce. But still, he decided to express his disagreement in the hope that Ben would reconsider his attitude and find a kinder way to handle the situation. Sources close to Damon mentioned that this attempt by Matt to intervene was not well received by Ben, who was in a moment of great vulnerability. However, Matt did not give up his stance and tried to convince Ben to be more empathetic towards Jennifer, reminding him how important that relationship had been in his life. For Damon, the key was for Ben to understand that, despite the pain and difficulties, there was a way to approach the end of his marriage without causing more suffering. Matt's role as a close friend put a strain on their relationship, since Affleck didn't easily accept criticism about his personal decisions. Nevertheless, Matt stood firm in his stance, aware that his intervention was a genuine act of support for his friend, and not just simple disapproval. Damon's position was clear. He wanted Ben to recognize that he could face this process in a way that reflected respect and understanding. The situation created a temporary distance between the two, a period when Matt decided to give Ben some space to reflect. However, Damon stayed by his worried friend's side, ready to support. Damon's intervention showed their strong, honest friendship, ready to support him when he was ready to receive advice. Damon's intervention showed their friendship strength. Ben relied on Matt's loyalty during tough times. Their bond was tested but grew stronger. Although Ben was going through a difficult time, he knew he could count on Matt's loyalty. Even if Matt pointed out inconvenient truths, the relationship between the two actors was very difficult. Instead of breaking apart, it strengthened, showing that, despite the conflicts, true friendship endures and adapts to life's challenges. Number 3, romance. With Gwyneth Paltrow. It was one of the most talked about relationships in the 90s, a time when both were shining in Hollywood. The relationship started off quietly, but soon the media turned it into the center of attention. Affleck and Paltrow met at a dinner hosted by the then influential producer Harry Winston, and the chemistry was immediate. Gwyneth ended her engagement with Brad Pitt. Her bond with Ben captivated the public. It was so strong that they both decided to explore a romantic relationship. The public was fascinated by the couple, who seemed to embody the glamour of Hollywood. However, the relationship was complicated from the start. Gwyneth, known for her thoughtful personality, quickly noticed some differences between them. Even though they got along well and had fun together, tensions started to surface. Paltrow, coming out of a serious relationship with Pitt, was looking for commitment and stability, while Affleck at that time wasn't ready for something so formal. The romance became intermittent, and the media's interest in them didn't help ease the tensions. Despite trying to make things work, Gwyneth's parents expressed doubts about Affleck. They found him charming but not suitable for a lasting relationship. This judgment weighed on Paltrow's mind, who, although in love, began to question whether the relationship had a future. During the filming of Shakespeare in Love, the attraction between the two was revived, but problems persisted. In later interviews, Gwyneth referred to Ben as funny and charismatic, but also mentioned that at the time he was not ready for a stable relationship. Looking back on her relationship with Affleck, she noted that she learned a lot, describing him as a man with a great sense of humor and energy, but that he still had aspects of his life to sort out. Ultimately, the relationship came to an end in 2000, leaving both actors with important lessons. But he still had aspects of his life to sort out. The relationship eventually came to an end in 2000, leaving both actors with important lessons. Gwyneth admitted that the separation process was painful, but she acknowledged that it was necessary. For Ben, the experience was a step in his personal evolution, and even though they went their separate ways, they maintained mutual respect. Number 4, the start of the Bennifer relationship. The beginning of the relationship between Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, nicknamed Bennifer by the press, was a media phenomenon of unusual proportions. The couple met on the set of the movie Jiggly, and from the start, the connection between them was obvious. Jennifer, who was married at the time, initially approached Ben as a friend. However, the chemistry between them quickly transcended the screen, quickly went beyond the screen, becoming one of the most talked about relationships of the early 2000s. Paparazzi captured the first moments of their romance, with photos of them on romantic outings that confirmed the intensity of their relationship. It didn't take long for Affleck and Lopez to become inseparable, showing up together at public events and making it clear that they were deeply in love. The press, fascinated by the love story between the singer and the actor, didn't miss a single detail, especially when Jennifer from the Block's music video was released. In the video, Affleck and Lopez recreated romantic scenes that looked like they were captured by paparazzi, further increasing the attention on them. One of the most iconic moments was when Affleck kissed Jennifer in a scene filmed on a boat. This image became a sort of symbol of their relationship, combining glamour, passion, and a touch of rebellion against the invasion of privacy. Even though the two enjoyed their time together, the media frenzy surrounding the couple was starting to become a burden. Jennifer, accustomed to fame and public attention, handled the situation with skill, but for Ben, this constant attention, it was becoming increasingly uncomfortable. Despite the challenges, the relationship moved quickly forward, and Ben decided to take the next step. He proposed to Jennifer with a 6-carat pink diamond ring, specially designed for her. The engagement was one of the most talked about events of the year, and fans were eagerly awaiting the wedding. However, the intense media pressure causing tension made the couple delay their wedding, made the couple make a surprising decision to postpone the wedding indefinitely. This postponement marked the beginning of a series of difficulties for the couple. The media interpreted the decision as a sign of trouble, and rumors about internal conflicts quickly started to surface. Even though both tried to adapt to the situation, the pressures of fame and public expectations turned out to be too much for them. Finally, in 2004, Ben and Jennifer announced their separation, bringing an end to a relationship that had captured everyone's attention and leaving their fans feeling puzzled. Number 5. Failed engagement with Jennifer Lopez. The engagement between Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez was an engagement that took place in the year 2000. It was as spectacular as it was brief. After months of passionate dating and public encounters, Ben surprised Jennifer with a marriage proposal that captured the imagination of their fans. The actor gifted her a unique pink diamond ring, designed by famed jeweler Harry Winston, and at the time it seemed like the couple was destined for a lifetime of happiness together. The proposal came at a height of their relationship, with both Affleck and Lopez at the height of their careers. The engagement was a highly publicized event, with headlines portraying them as Hollywood's ideal couple. However, the intensity of the media attention began to generate tensions. The constant monitoring of the press, which documented every outing, every gesture, and every look, became an increasing pressure for both of them. Jennifer, who was already accustomed to fame, handled the situation with confidence. But for Ben, this constant intrusion was starting to wear down the relationship. The decision to postpone the wedding was, for many, an indication that things were not going as well as they seemed. The couple announced that, due to the excessive media attention, they preferred to delay the marriage until they could enjoy a more intimate celebration. However, this decision only sparked more rumors, and the media quickly began to speculate about possible issues between them. The media pressure did not diminish after the announcement of the postponement. On the contrary, tabloids began publishing stories about conflicts between the two, which contributed to increasing tension in the relationship. Affleck, who had struggled to adjust to life in the spotlight from the start, began to show signs of emotional exhaustion. The differences regarding their private lives became evident, and the dream of a happy marriage was fading with every headline. In the end, the couple decided to go their separate ways. The announcement of the breakup was as unexpected as the news of their engagement, leaving the public in shock. Many fans mourned the end of a relationship that, although brief, had been intense and passionate. The love story between Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, although it ended in a failed engagement, left a mark on popular culture and became an example of how fame's pressure can affect even the strongest relationships. The pressure of fame can affect even the strongest relationships. Number 6. Relationship and marriage with Jennifer Garner. After his breakup with Jennifer Lopez, Ben Affleck found the support and stability he was looking for in Jennifer Garner, a colleague he had worked with on the set of Pearl Harbor in the year 2000. Even though both were in other relationships at the time, their chemistry was undeniable. And when they crossed paths again in the movie Daredevil, Affleck and Garner quickly became good friends. Over time, this friendship turned into a romantic relationship that many described as mature and genuine. The romance between Affleck and Garner started, and Affleck aimed to protect this relationship. Unlike his previous relationship, Affleck was determined to protect this new stage and avoid overexposure. The couple enjoyed their time together in quiet places, away from the spotlight, and soon Ben realized that Jennifer was the person he wanted to spend his life with. The couple got engaged and, in an intimate ceremony, they married, thus starting a family that would bring them joy. Jennifer Garner was a stabilizing presence in Ben's life, and their marriage provided both of them with a solid foundation to build a family life. The couple soon became parents to a daughter, Violet, and later expanded their family with 2 more children. Affleck's life seemed to have taken a positive turn, and the actor was in a period of calm and happiness that he hadn't experienced in years. Garner's dedication to her family and her role as a mother were highly valued by Affleck, who found in her the balance he had always been looking for. However, over time, problems began to arise. The balance he had always been looking for. However, over time, problems began to arise. Despite both of their efforts to maintain a stable family life, Affleck was facing a constant struggle with his personal issues that eventually took a toll on his marriage. Garner, always understanding and patient, tried to help him at every stage, providing support during the toughest times. Even though they both tried to save their relationship, the differences became insurmountable, and they ultimately decided to separate, maintaining a respectful relationship for the sake of their kids. Number 7. Affleck struggles with alcoholism. Ben Affleck's struggle with alcoholism has been one of the toughest battles of his life, and it's a topic that has impacted his personal relationships and his professional career. From a young age, Ben faced the harsh reality of growing up in an environment where alcoholism affected his family. This experience left a deep mark on him, and although he initially promised not to fall into the same pattern, the pressure of fame and personal challenges led him to develop a dependency that would affect many aspects of his life. Over the years, Affleck tried to keep his career and personal life in balance, but the weight of his problems started to become evident. His first serious attempt to quit alcohol was in 1997, after the success of Good Will Hunting. At that moment, Ben began to recognize the negative effects of his dependency and made the decision to seek professional help. This was the first of several times he entered treatment, trying to overcome a struggle that, over time, turned into a cycle of relapses and recoveries. The support of his loved ones, especially Jennifer Garner, was crucial for Ben in every attempt to overcome his issues. Garner, who stood by him during the most critical moments. He organized an intervention in 2018, which resulted in another stay at a rehabilitation center. This intervention not only showed Garner's commitment to him, but also the impact that Ben's alcoholism had on their family. Despite the difficulties, Garner remained a constant source of support, helping him focus on his recovery and his role as a dad. The process hasn't been easy, and Affleck has been open about the ups and downs he's experienced. In interviews, he has shared his feelings of shame and regret, especially when reflecting on how his actions affected his kids. The Halloween relapse in 2019 was one of the toughest moments for Ben, as it came after a year of sobriety. This experience forced him to face, once again, the consequences of his dependency. Affleck has admitted that sobriety is a constant journey, and that his battle with alcoholism is something he will continue to deal with. He has expressed his gratitude for the support he has received from his family and friends, especially from Jennifer Garner, who, despite the difficulties in their relationship, never stopped offering him her help. Even though the struggle continues, Ben is committed to keep seeking balance, aware that his well-being is essential, not just for himself but also for his kids, who are his biggest motivation to stay sober. aware that his well-being is essential, not just for him but also for his kids, who are his biggest motivation to stay sober. Number 8. Divorce. From Jennifer Garner. It was a tough process that deeply affected both of them, not just as a couple but also as parents. After more than a decade of marriage and 3 kids, the couple decided to end their relationship respectfully, aiming to preserve family harmony. The announcement of their separation in 2015 took many of their fans by surprise, since despite the challenges, Affleck and Garner always seemed like a stable and committed couple. The divorce was a slow and thoughtful process. In the years following the announcement of their separation, Affleck and Garner continued living together, trying to maintain a united family life. For them, the priority was the well-being of their kids, and both decided to do everything possible to protect them from the impact of the separation. This decision was praised by the public and showed both of their commitments to co-parenting. The separation process was officially finalized in 2018, when the couple filed for divorce. Despite the tensions and the reasons that led to the breakup, both of them stayed united for the sake of their kids, who were his biggest concern. On several occasions, Jennifer accompanied Ben in critical moments, such as when he entered rehabilitation, demonstrating that, despite the end of their relationship as a couple, both maintained a relationship of respect and support, mutual. The divorce was a moment of introspection for Ben, who reflected on the mistakes he had made and the impact of his decisions on his family. In interviews, he has mentioned that Garner was a positive influence in his life and that, despite the problems, he always tried to be a good dad and a present figure in his kids' lives. For Jennifer, the divorce was also a tough process. He always tried to be a good dad and a present figure in his kids' lives. For Jennifer, the divorce was also a tough process. But her focus on the stability of their kids helped her get through the challenges. Affleck and Garner maintain a cordial relationship and share custody of their kids. Despite their differences, love and responsibility for their children keep them united in respect. Their divorce story exemplifies how a couple can maturely face separation. Love and responsibility for their kids keep them united in a relationship of respect. Their divorce story has become an example of how a couple can face separation in a mature way, always prioritizing the well-being of the family and maintaining mutual respect. Always prioritizing the well-being of the family and maintaining mutual respect. Number 9. Relationship with Ana de Armas. The romance between Ben Affleck and Ana de Armas was brief but intense, and it caught the media's attention from the very start. The couple met while filming the movie Deep Water, and soon the chemistry between them became obvious. Their relationship started in a work environment and quickly moved to a personal level, with public outings and romantic moments that the media eagerly captured. The connection between Ben and Ana seemed strong, and they both appeared to enjoy each other's company in this new chapter of their lives. From the beginning, the relationship was very public. The couple was seen strolling through the streets of Los Angeles and sharing moments on social media, where they both showed their affection. Ben even introduced Ana to his kids, which showed that the relationship was serious. The relationship was moving quickly, and Ana ended up moving into Ben's house, marking a new level of commitment between them. However, living together wasn't as easy as they both expected. Differences between them started to come up, and the lifestyle of Los Angeles, where Ben had deep roots, didn't fit into Ana's long-term plans. Even though they both tried to overcome the difficulties, the pressure of public life and the expectations of a stable relationship became complicated to handle. Finally, after several months of living together, the couple decided to end their relationship amicably. The end of the romance was a hot topic in the media, and there was a lot of speculation about the reasons for the breakup. For both of them, the experience was a lesson about the importance of compatibility and stability in a relationship. Even though the romance was short, it left a mark on both of them, and the breakup was handled with discretion and respect. Number 10. Second reconciliation with Jennifer Lopez. Years after their first romance, then, Affleck and Jennifer Lopez surprised the world when they decided to reignite their relationship. The reunion between them was unexpected, but the connection they shared was still evident. And soon the public became interested in their love story again. Ben and Jennifer have rekindled their relationship with a different focus. Aware of the mistakes from the past and determined to enjoy their love without worrying about public opinion, the relationship started with supportive messages and friendly conversations that soon turned into something more. Ben, determined to win Jennifer back, sent her letters and messages full of affection, making it clear that his feelings for her were still deep. The couple was seen on several outings, and the rumors of reconciliation were quickly confirmed. The news excited Bennifer fans who were still fascinated by this second chance. They both decided to keep a low profile and avoid the excessive media exposure that had affected their relationship in the past. However, public attention was inevitable, and soon the paparazzi captured romantic moments between them, fueling the excitement of their fans. Ben and Jennifer seemed happier than ever, and their relationship was progressing with a maturity they hadn't had in their first attempt. Unlike the first time, both approached the relationship with a calmer perspective, focusing on enjoying the present. Before long, they announced their engagement again, and the public celebrated the news as the happy ending many had been hoping for. However, the media pressure continued to be a challenge, and Ben, who had always preferred privacy, found it hard to adapt to the exposure. Number 11, tensions between public and private life. The relationship between Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez had reached a stability that seemed unbreakable. However, the tensions between public life and privacy began to surface quickly. Jennifer, used to living in the spotlight and amidst public attention, faced the media pressure with, for her, the interest of the media. It was part of her life and a tool in her career. Ben's situation differed. Privacy tolls caused friction. They faced a crossroads. The constant invasion of his privacy started to affect him, and this created friction in the relationship. The couple found themselves at a crossroads. While Jennifer handled the public attention effectively, Ben grew increasingly uncomfortable. Despite their best efforts, the tension was growing, and Ben started to resent the fact that his personal life was always under a microscope. Jennifer tried to be understanding and adjust her approach to meet Ben's needs, but finding that balance was complicated. The attention they both received created expectations among the public, who couldn't help but watch and comment on every step the couple took. Even though they supported each other, their contrasting approaches to public life became a constant source of conflict. Ben wanted a more private life, away from the flashes and public comments, while Jennifer was inclined to share important moments of her life with her followers. Ben wanted a more private life, far from the flashes and public comments. Jennifer was inclined to share important moments of her life with her followers. This difference in how they viewed the world created an emotional distance that, over time, became hard to ignore. The situation worsened when Ben started to sense that Jennifer wanted to use their relationship as part of her artistic work, especially in her album This Is Me Now. Ben tried to be flexible and support her in her projects, but he felt that his personal life was being exposed in a way that didn't match his desire for privacy. This conflict between their priorities deeply affected the relationship, creating a tension that they both tried to manage, but that gradually pulled them apart. Number 12, the collapse of Bennifer 2.0. The end of the renewed relationship between Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. It was as unexpected as the start of their second romance. Both had invested a lot in this relationship, trying to overcome the difficulties they faced in their first attempt. And they were willing to find a balance between their private life and their public life. However, the differences that had arisen regarding privacy and media exposure turned out to be an insurmountable obstacle. Despite Jennifer's efforts to keep the relationship alive, the tension surrounding the constant media attention became unsustainable for Ben. The public's expectations and the constant scrutiny created an emotional strain that started to affect his well-being. It became unsustainable for Ben. The public's expectations and constant scrutiny created an emotional strain that started to affect his well-being. Jennifer, determined to preserve their bond, tried to adjust her approach and show a more private side of her life, but it wasn't enough to save the relationship. They both found themselves trapped in a cycle of discomfort and resentment that gradually weakened their connection. The relationship started to crumble, and the problems became more and more evident. In an attempt to ease the tension, Ben even tried to collaborate on some of Jennifer's projects, appearing in ads and participating in her artistic work. However, the effort backfired, as Affleck felt that the exposure only made his situation worse. Jennifer, who had put a lot of her heart into the relationship, also started to notice the impact it was having on her life, personal and professional. In the end, they both decided to go their separate ways. Even though the breakup was painful, they both knew it was the best decision. For Jennifer, it meant accepting that love can't always overcome all differences. For Ben, it was a return to the privacy he longed for, although it also came with the weight of a relationship that had ended once again. The story of Bennifer, while emotional and meaningful, ended with a mutual understanding that sometimes the differences between public and private life can be the biggest obstacle in a romantic relationship.